Welcome to Zentangle Project Pack No.17. This is the wrap-up video. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria.
And we had a blast with this. And we just want to go through, put all the things together in different ways so that you can see, what we did.
The possibilities.
And we encourage you to do the same thing as well. So this is the first day that Maria put the middles in on that.
Yeah, that was kind of a pretty, somewhere between Elish and
Betweed, Oronat, somewhere between Elish and Oronat.
Yeah, all kinds of things in there. But it's taking a couple of tangles and making them into something else, which was a little bit of muka, all kinds of little things here. And we were so surprised at how beautiful it came out. Look at this one. This one is that Martha did with the weighted printemps of the square. Had just surprised me so much. It's
and
just
it made
beautiful.
that beautiful circle. So you can really get these meta shapes or these meta patterns that these create. So let's take a look at the second set.
Oh, this is where you added your
the hollis in there.
Yeah.
And you can see that, where the hollis goes across one tile to the other. It's not perfect in each one, but the whole idea holds together. And again, those circles, and then the coloring holding that image, and you've got that like six-sided gearing thing going on.
And you can see the reason why we did those edges with the little crescent moony kind of things going, so that that's what held it together in the kaleidoscope way.
Right, like those little bits of plastic or glass that are in it.
Ordinarily, we wouldn't measure things off and do things like that.
And
but
the hollis, the holiball lines up in there too.
Yeah, I know.
And then this is the last one we did with the gorgeous.
Oh, it is gorgeous, right?
Right. Look at that center shape.
That center shape with the pink is just amazing, right?
And it really holds together, and it makes these wonderful, the same tiles put together in different ways. You get this totally different but related mosaic. That
star pattern in the middle is very interesting. It's a hexagon
swirl.
Star, but this with a swirl and movement. It's almost moving around.
I love it.
Yeah.
But what you can also do is just mix and match. So we took a couple from each one. Right? So you can play with this in so many different ways.
Like a kaleidoscope.
A kaleidoscope, exactly. And you can see the string that we just went over. And then we just took almost all of them and put them together.
In a mosaic.
In a mosaic, right?
But sort of a random mosaic, like a crazy quilt.
And since they all have that same or similar meaning, like Maria was saying with the crescent moon, they hold together throughout the whole, however you might mix and match them. That's really fun.
A raison d'etre, like a reason to put them together, is those pieces.
And then in your in the primer pack, not the primer pack, in the project pack, you had the 6 extra tiles, blank tiles. And
with our wells.
With our well of wells.
Well of wells. And this was the additional piece that we had put together for people who weren't able to get the project pack, and so they could follow along with some sort of a surprise at the ending. And this was another crazy quilt of some sort, and it went together so smoothly, and it seemed.
And then Molly really tied it all together with adding that shading.
Yeah, I handed it to her. I said, "Dude, put some shading on here that kind of, bring it together," and not thinking that maybe we should have showed it before and after. Yeah.
Well, you can look at the ends of the videos, but here's Maria showing just how you can go about shading this if you did this.
Okay, so if you wanted to get that effect that Molly got, this is what you need to consider. So when we put these together, it went together by like triangle and square at a time. But we're going to take the sides of them and connect those to get these beautiful curves coming off the points of the eight-pointed star. So if you follow from the tip of the star to the tip there, you can see it's almost like what's that shape? It's just so beautiful.
Well, it's like this beautiful spiral. It looks like something you'd see on a shell or in nature, or you can see leaves, overlapping leaves.
So if you go back in and darken that line, you can see I'm going to the right of the line and adding more graphite, and then we're going to smudge it with the tortillon, and that's how Molly did it, sort of.
Sort of. She added an extra touch, which we'll point out later.
Yeah. So if you go back in and shade these beautiful swirls, you're going to get a whole different meta pattern from this star, and it's going to turn into something indescribable. I'm not sure what we would call this, eight-petaled
spiral or
flower.
And this piece that we did on this is on an opus tile, but it turned out to be like such a cool thing. The final presentation, it made its own sort of like frozen kaleidoscope there.
You can see my pencils rolling down on my desk has a little bit of a slant to it.
But just going in there and then teasing out the graphite and just blending it in, just going right over whatever you did. And you can get that sense of like curved, whatever they are, layering one over the other.
So I had I had a bunch of these. What do you call it?
Like prototypes?
No, those the string that we did.
Oh, right. The dream catcher.
The dream catcher. Yeah. I had a bunch of them, and when I was sitting down at my desk one day, I decided to do something a little bit different and filled each one of those spaces with a little bit of color, watercolor. So I was doing the same shading on that particular one that I did. I threw some inside each one. Well.
Right.
Well, yeah. And did something in the middle, which I'm encouraging everybody to do something in the center that'll make it your own, so make it totally different than anybody else's.
So it's just layering
like
over
a
there.
Signature, yeah. So you can see
really
where
cool.
those petals, I guess, for a lack of a better word, are coming together. And you can see now what Molly did. But then because she's just, such an artist, she took her purple chalk pencil and started adding some colors inside these petals that kind of glowed. Look at that.
Well, and it ties together those whole bands or those leaves, like those overlapping leaves, and it right. So it goes across those triangular sections.
How beautiful! These are all things that you can do after you think you're done.
Right.
When you're sure you're done, then these are things you can add just for fun.
So the theme of this whole project pack was kaleidoscopes. So here are a couple kaleidoscopes. You can see the little bits of plastic and glass in that one.
That's a typical one.
Yeah.
But this one has a glass ball on the end where you can see
I stuck the
things.
camera on it and just looked at that, first mosaic that we did.
How fun.
Let's make our own. So this is a really cool thing that you can do. These, I think, are like quilting mirrors. So it's like you can see what a pattern would look like if they were, 4 of them or 6 of them or whatever, 3 of them together. So you can get these or you can make your own. And in this case, we're going to make one. These are like little plastic camping mirrors. I think they were like, $4 or $5 a piece. And just get some nice duct tape, Gorilla Tape here. And going to measure that off for one side, tear it, and put it on about half of the tape on one side of one of the mirrors. And then we'll just put the mirrors together and then make a hinge with the tape.
So they can move it back and forth.
Right. So you can just, adjust it and see things. And it's a really cool thing for making it as a fragment finder, because all of a sudden, really common shapes, you realize you can find the meta pattern if you were to put them together. So if we take that, we'll take one of those and just set it on that single piece that we did on the opus tile.
How fun, right?
And just enjoy it. Look at how these go together.
And they were all random.
Yeah. And you find these different shapes.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Right? Different angles of the mirror make different numbers of repetition. You've got 4, 3, 5, 6.
Wow.
So this was a lot of fun. So thank you. We hope you had a good time. We really appreciate you playing along with us, and we look forward to seeing what you all create.
See you later.
Bye now.
Bye.